How we doing, traders? Welcome to the SPACs Attack. Let's get it started. How we doing, traders? Welcome to the SPACs Attack, where we talk everything SPACs. So if you like them, hit the like button. Let's get this party started. If you can do me a favor, guys, to go ahead up and hit that share button. Let everyone know we're going to be talking about FinTech SPACs. We're going to be going a little bit into Coinbase, but mainly going into the other plays that could come from Coinbase. So with that being said, let's bring on the brains to this show. Chris Katje.
Hey, what's going on, Mitch? How are we doing today?
What up, my friend? It's looking like a blue day. If you know what I mean.
It's a blue day, of course. So, yeah, not a lot of activity, going on out there in SPAC land. We did get one small biotech deal announced this morning. I didn't even see it first thing. Saw it a little bit later. No new rumors, out last night or this morning. So, just not a lot of news out there. Obviously, everyone is watching, the highly anticipated Coinbase IPO today, which is going to have an impact on a lot of different things, right? We're going to see some, crypto plays. We're going to see some, Bitcoin mining stocks, trade very high volume today based on that. We're going to see other exchange companies trade high based off of that. So later on in the show, we'll break down some companies that, are going public via SPAC that are similar to crypto plays. We'll look at some fintech plays and, some that maybe could target a crypto company. A lot of these crypto exchanges like Gemini, Binance are still private, and maybe they explore a SPAC to go public. Because let's face it, if Coinbase goes public today and their valuation is over $100 billion, I think some of these private crypto exchanges are going to want some money and a piece of that pie.
All right. Looking like they're telling you to get a glass desktop. For looks like the visuals. They want more visuals. They want more from you, man.
I mean, they got the blue back here, and now we want something like here. Is that what?
Yeah, man. We got to get you a news anchor desk.
Yeah. Well, and I want one of those fancy screens behind me too. So.
Yeah, man. We got to get you. We're gonna get you. Stepping up. Hey, how we do it, right? 2% better every day. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get to our SPAC headlines of the day. If you guys could do me a favor by smashing that like button, since we go into the headlines every single day, because really, we could just give it to you on our SPAC newsletter and then charge you guys a whole bunch for it. But not what we do here, guys. What we do here is give you the information. So do us a favor, hit the like button, hit the share, and let's go ahead and take us back, Chris, to those headlines.
All right, guys. Yeah. So as I said, not a lot going on out there, but we'll get through headlines here. So up first, we have FUSE. So Fusion Acquisition, which is merging with MoneyLion, out yesterday with full fiscal year 2020 revenue, $76.1 million, up 90% year over year. Total customers grew 60% to 1.4 million for the fiscal year. And their guidance calls for 31.5 million in the first quarter, which would be up 118% year over year. They said that guidance that they gave from their investor presentation, they remain confident in it, which is what we'd like to see, not the revised guidance downward. And more on MoneyLion later on, because they also have some crypto news out there. So this could be another Coinbase-related trade later. We have ARK Funds increasing positions in Opendoor, OPEN, SPCE, Virgin Galactic, DKNG, DraftKings, and RTP, Joby Aviation. Decent sized stakes in SPCE and RTP taken yesterday. So buying the dip on Virgin Galactic, and then also adding RTP, in volume to the ARCX Space ETF. Now we have DMYD, so Genius Sports voting on that merger fairly soon, and interesting, as I said yesterday on the show, that the SEC is considering reclassifying warrants from equity to liabilities, which could have an impact on, which companies offer warrants, as it may be an accounting and lawyer, nightmare for the logistics. It also could impact the backlog of SPACs going public, because it looks like the SEC is going to block all new ones from coming until they get this resolved. But DMYD, Genius Sports, getting ahead of the curve here. Their filing with the SEC has already reclassified warrants, as liabilities. So they're wasting no time to get ahead of this to help push that vote through. So props to Genius Sports and DMYD here, getting ahead of the SEC and hopefully pushing this deal through. We have PSAC, so Property Solutions Acquisition, merging with Faraday Future. We, of course, had them on the show not too long ago. So they highlighted their global online to offline direct sales organization, mentions China, mentions the U.S. sales network for those electric vehicles. So that FF91 is going to be brought to market using a direct sales model. Also some company-owned stores and some partner-owned stores and showrooms. So really using, a cross-platform here, both online and offline, to sell those electric vehicles. Then another SPAC to watch, we have NGA, which I do own shares of, merging with Lion Electric. So Lion Electric CEO Mark Bedard, a former guest on our show, he will be on Bloomberg today at 1 o'clock Eastern time. He is going to talk about how Quebec companies are leading the innovation of clean power. So, again, Mark Bedard, Lion Electric, a big player in Canada and also the U.S., electric buses, electric vans. So, again, on Bloomberg, talking about that. So that stock could see some interest, today during the trading session. And yesterday, our mover to discuss is AGC, up 10% on that deal with Grab, the largest SPAC deal. No surprise that it was up. We can take a look at that chart later. And then our deal this morning, we have BCTG announcing a deal with Tango Therapeutics, so a biotech company committed to discovering and delivering the next generation of precision cancer medicine. So pre-revenue, and again, it looks like they have some drugs in their pipeline, but not very far along. But this one is actually up 7% this morning. I'm seeing 1205 right now. So BCTG, these biotech SPACs, very low market cap deals, and then also low float. So it looks like about 16 million shares here. So this one could see lots of action, again, as a low float trade that some of these retail traders have been pointing out. So keep an eye out on this one. And, like I said, not a lot going on. So that's what I've got for headlines, Mitch. So I don't know if you want to start with that ACG chart or if we want to dive into some of Kathy Wood's comments yesterday on SPACs.
Yeah, guys. I mean, if you guys didn't catch those comments by Kathy, I'll go ahead up and I'll put the link in our description in a second here, and also put up the link for you guys to go ahead up and see that. Pretty much, I'll give you guys a little bit of a gist, but definitely check it out. It's on our Clips channel now. If you guys don't know, we even have our own playlist on this Clips channel. So if you're a type of person that, let's say, you can't catch the show every day, you can't watch us for a whole hour, it's okay. We got you. We got Benzinga clips. Go check it out, guys. It's going to be short, under 10-minute clips always. And this way you get your SPAC information and what's important and notable. All right, guys. So with that being said, let's go into that chart that you're talking about. One of the things that I was talking about was how I've been seeing this move happen consistently now. And let's go back towards that ticker. That's AGC here. And one of the things that I've been seeing consistently is a washout after kind of that pre-market kind of move where you're really starting to see the stocks come back up. And then that washout towards that 10 o'clock and then a 10 o'clock reversal. That's kind of like what we got here and kind of the same move that I saw MUDs make. And so pay attention to that. We might be seeing more often this move happening. So that's just one to definitely keep on the radar. All right, guys. So that's going to be that pattern that I've been seeing lately in SPACs. But there's definitely some more news out there too. I did see some Nikola news. I know that not that many people even pay attention to Nikola anymore, but I did see some news. Pretty much it was like a forward-looking statement, let's just say, that they're trying to speed up the infrastructure of hydrogen in Germany. So take a look at that, guys. That could potentially start getting some love. Now, one stock I am seeing getting some love is MP, and we've been seeing that, guys, start getting up there. I think I'm starting to like this stock. It's definitely looking good right off of that kind of support that you'll see here. I'll try to get that daily support drawn up here, and then we'll take a look here on the daily, see what we're seeing and where we could be going to on the MP. So on the MP, we're bouncing off of this kind of $34 support. Let's see if this one starts driving. We had that offering up here at 45. It brought it back down towards that 35, and now we're seeing a couple bounces there. It's going to be interesting to see if we can get back above 37.50 and really start driving to the 40. But I think this is one definitely to keep on your radar, as you'll see probably lithium trades and other trades like that kind of take lead. Maybe this one starts making a move also. What do you think about that, Chris?
Yeah, I think definitely MP has been one of my, favorites for the long term. Clean energy, they're going to be in EVs, windmills, all this stuff. And obviously the administration, fully supportive of, their supply chain infrastructure. So another one to pull up the chart here, Mitch, DraftKings, DKNG. So this one, some positive news out, right? We're seeing more states legalize online sports betting, Maryland, Arizona. DraftKings also out with news that they signed for a retail location in Arizona. So they're going to get access to that market fairly early here. They also had a deal with the PGA Tour out. So we're over $60 today, up 2%. This one traded, over $70 not too long ago. So I'm curious to see, your thoughts on this chart, Mitch. And then it looks like on Benzinga Pro, we have earnings coming up May 7th. For first quarter. So, I would anticipate that those earnings would be strong. So what's your thoughts on this chart heading into May for DraftKings?
Yeah, if you guys can see, the only time it tried to break trend was in this 40 area. I drew the line underneath that to kind of give us a little bit of a base there. Like if you see it come down to these levels, it would kind of be on a cheap for the trend. But this is just a trend. And it's an uptrend here, uptrending channel, and I think it's going to continue to trend up. I wouldn't be surprised if you see DraftKings next year somewhere above 100. Reason why is just like I said, as revenues come in, you're going to see these continue to get the love. I think these are based more on the revenues they have now than based on the revenues for the future. And I think the revenue for the future is definitely going to increase, if not take off like you've never seen it before. I know that you've been seeing these media companies, these sports media companies coming out. And there's a reason why they're coming out, guys, is they're expecting a big lift in sports betting this next year and this next 5 years to really take off. At the end of the day, I think that's why you're seeing more sports media is being focused on. That's why you're seeing more sports betting coming out.
Mitch, you mentioned sports media. So I had an article out on DraftKings. They actually hired their first ever chief media officer. They announced yesterday, a former Verizon senior vice president who worked with the NFL, the NBA. So DraftKings is going that not only sports betting, they're going all in on media too. They bought VSIN. They're rumored to be looking at Action Network. They're signing these deals, with ESPN to partner on content and distribution. So, I think that's interesting because as we saw with Penn National and Barstool, acquiring customers, it can be cheaper if you own the media assets, right? You can build up that following. They read your articles, they watch your TV shows, and then you convert them to customers on your sports betting app, right? So I think that's a good story to follow with DraftKings, and I become more bullish on this name and this leader in the space.
Yep, and that's why you'll see what do you see, guys? You see today, you'll see RSI up here, getting interesting here now at $15. I gotta say I like it here. I haven't invested in this company now, but I've seen multiple bottoms here at this 15. It is getting interesting to me. Another play in this sector that is at the support is GAN. GAN, I would like to see this one actually cut down a little bit more, closer towards 16, before you go and you try to catch this knife. But there's other plays, GNOG just bounced off support. So it's starting to pull back a little bit, but I do like kind of this trend here that you see in GNOG. So one of the things that we want to see, right, is that 1 up, 2 up, 3 up, pull back towards the big support here. Now let's see if we can really get some driver, and the driver is going to be the volume, guys. So if we drew kind of a line here from the volume, you can see how the volume's been declining. Wait for that big, nice volume spike bar. That's what I'd be looking for, guys, is a nice bar show up on this candle like this. That's like, let's say, over this candle, which is 23 million shares traded. That would show you some huge strength and bulls jumping into GNOG. And I mean, if you just draw this line, I mean, this is easily drawn out, guys. So definitely 3 touches makes it a trend line. 1, 2, 3. Let's see if it can get back above 17, really get that driver volume that we're talking about. And then that's what can get it back up there to, say, 28, 30s and above. All right, guys, let me go ahead up and see if there's anything else on the watch list that I want to mention before we get to our middle segment of today. Yeah, Cleverly is still doing well. That one's not a bad one to mention. Definitely B-Fly having a not a huge day, but at least starting that sideways period, and it's continued to go sideways. Let's see if it keeps holding 16. I think that's definitely the line in the sand. Let it keep holding that. Wait till you see a move and it start ripping. There's only one more that I want to really check out. BFT, what did that switch over to, Chris?
BFT is now, I forgot the ticker already.
Dun. I put Chris on the hot seat, guys.
PSFC.
Where's the chat? Ooh, look at that. John Doe with the points.
PSFE.
Points for John Doe. I'll give it to you. You're the first one that showed up on mine. Hit me up, John Doe. I'll give you. I get you a little SPAC Attack shirt. How you think about that? So hit me up. I'll get you that since you were the first one there. And even though it wasn't a little competition, I know Carl was going to mention that one. My man Carl has been in this one for a while. I'm not sure if he has any more right now. I got to ask him. I'll catch up with Carl after, but definitely this is what it's all about, guys. And I see you guys. That's what it's about, guys. I love to see the reaction. Love to see everybody be a community here and help each other out. So definitely I'm pulling up this one because I'm wondering if this one's going to come back. It held 15 for so long, but now it's starting to trend on the downside. But I did see kind of a little bounce here. Let me put up this chart here and see where it's bouncing off of. 1360s, that bounce back up to 14 and 1440s. Let's see for a 3 attempt to break down through this like kind of 1350 area. So you broke down through it once, right? And then you pop above it. Let's see if it can hold it on a pullback, this 1350, and then come right back up there through the 1440. That's what I would kind of want to see. So kind of what you're getting here is this downtrend, an up spike. I want to see it, let it try this line and then come back roaring. That's what I'd be looking for, guys. So keep your eyes on that one. And that's PaySafe there, guys. PSFE. All right, that's probably going to do it for my honorable mentions here from our watch list. Let's go ahead and let's get back to my man, the brains for this show, Chris Katje. One of the things that he wants to talk about now is, Chris has been talking about crypto SPACs, fintech SPACs for a while. And, he's put out a lot of names that you guys got to keep on maybe different watch lists. Maybe you create your own little crypto side SPAC watch list. And then you have on some other ones, maybe some betting plays. And it is a lot to keep an eye out. So that's why we have Chris. And Chris is going to go ahead up and unlock some SPACs here for us and let us know what else is out there.
Yeah, so I mean, with the Coinbase IPO today, we're gonna look back. Last week we talked about 3 SPACs that could be ways to play the Coinbase IPO. And Mitch, I just pulled up this chart, and VIH, this one now is falling. I saw it this morning. We were green, and now we're down 4%. So VIH is bringing back no play, right? So they launched the first regulated Bitcoin futures exchange, the first fully regulated options contract for Bitcoin. This is a $2 billion deal, crypto platform. So very similar. I thought it was going to be a good sympathy trade. It has ran the past couple days. So it looks like maybe people selling this into the IPO. If you look at the 5-day chart, I don't know is that the 5 or the weekly? This thing traded up, when I talked about it, and we saw it as a Coinbase trade, but now today it is dropping, and it's dropping hard right now. So, what do you think, Mitch? Like, that is...
You got it. Hey, buy the rumors, sell the news, right?
Yeah, I had in my notes that it was up, right? And that was an hour ago, getting ready for the show. And then, so now, and it could be people, selling so they have money available for Coinbase. It could just be the direct, get out of one name, get into another name. So, this one, if you bought in last week, you did all right. If you're holding today, I don't know when we're going to recover. I still think, long term, it's a crypto play, but some of these names could sell off now, on the, sell the news event with Coinbase IPO. So keep an eye out on this one, though. The ICE, the Intercontinental Exchange, is going to own a decent stake in Bakkt after this deal is done. So a major backer there. The other 2 I highlighted last week, we have GWAC. So they are taking public, so Cypher Mining, which they think could be one of the largest Bitcoin miners in the world, right? So they're going to have huge mining capacity. They're going to have low cost operations. They plan on launching financial services, ETFs, and a mining as a service business. But they're a couple of years away, right? So revenue of $6 million for fiscal 2021, and then we jumped to $350 million in fiscal 2022, and then we go up to $1 billion by 2025. So this is more of a long-term play. We've seen the Bitcoin miners, really run. It kind of depends on what's the price of Bitcoin going to be at the end of this year. What's the price of Bitcoin going to be, a couple of years from now? So if this company could really become one of the big producers of Bitcoins, one of the low cost miners, I like the long-term outlook, but again, it's not the business today. So we need to be patient with that. But GWIC may be one of the ways that I end up playing, the long-term bullish case for Bitcoin. And then the other one we have is FTCV. So FTCV bringing eToro public, same thing, down 4% now, falling on the day. This is another one where it ran up a little bit over the past couple days. So eToro, known more for their social trading, right? And they actually aren't even as big in the US. So they're going to launch stock trading in the US later this year. Crypto was only 16% of their assets in 2020. They launched Bitcoin trading in 2013. So again, not a huge player in terms of crypto, but they have over 20 million registered users. And the key for me with growth is if they start that stock trading in the US, can they maybe gain some additional customers, which could turn into more customers, trading stocks, more customers, buying crypto. So keep an eye out on FTCV, eToro, obviously one of the well-known names. And then the other one I'd highlight here is EQOS. So EQOS is a former SPAC. It's now Diginex. Power Hour yesterday at noon had an interview with the CEO. So talking about their role that they play in crypto and with Bitcoin. So, that digital asset ecosystem, a crypto exchange, derivative products tied to Bitcoins and Ethereum coming next, that they're really targeting Asia and Europe. Their long-term goal is the US, but publicly traded on the NASDAQ, so another crypto play. And I think this one, who knows what it's doing now, but this one, when I looked this morning, that one's fading now too. EQOS was up double digits earlier today. We're now up 6%. So it looks like a lot of people getting out of these Coinbase trades now.
This one's not looking the worst. This one's not looking the worst. The other one's
starting to bounce back a little. It looks like there now.
You got to remember, the other one's kind of sold off almost immediately. This one at least had a drive at first. It drove all the way into about 1024 and then just pulled back. What I like about this one is if you look at the daily, right? If you look a little bit further back, you're going off of support. You got a big volume push yesterday and today. And what I always talk about, when we're going to get momentum moving, we need that volume to show up. This is what I always talk about, that bar, right? I always talk about how there's declining volume, and then all of a sudden, boom, baby, it comes back to life. And really what that means is that it doesn't mean that it's going up. It means that it finally at least has some momentum, because volume is what really gets us driving and moving, right? And so where are we going to stop now? Today we pushed up there towards that 13 and quickly turned away from it. Why? If we forget about all this pop on the daily and we get a little bit closer, a little bit more short-term viewed, this is what you're going to see, guys. There's a resistance here and a kind of a downward trend that started and popped up, down, up, down, up. We need to see it really get through that $14 level to get out of this short-term trend that it's in. When it went down, kind of up, down, up, down, up. This is kind of like a bearish pennant, or you could say a bear flag start here. But really, I see these often. What happens is there is a bullish pattern before, and then when it cracks that bullish pattern, it starts a bearish pattern on the daily. Let's see if we can really start driving 13, get above 13 with increasing volume. This chart will definitely be looking good.
Mitch, if you keep it on that chart right there, so so all the way back there, so December, I had an article out talking a little bit about how it could be a crypto play. We were around $9. I mean, this one dropped, right? Look at that after it became a SPAC. It fell off that $10 floor, right? That was no longer there. This one was trading, down to about $6. And then in December, it got a little bit of attention, right? Because it got that crypto exchange news. and then it dropped again, and then it started circulating, right, as a Bitcoin trade, right? So as the price of Bitcoin went up in December, January, I mean, this thing rocketed higher, right? It more than doubled, from that December point. But now, it's faded since then. But again, these ones that are tied to crypto, they can rise and fall with the price of Bitcoin or with, the valuation of some of these crypto platforms. So to me, the fact that it's already starting to go back up here, this one could have a better day today with the Coinbase IPO than, VIH and FTCV, which are already, falling and fading fast. So keep an eye out on EQOS, on the day. So definitely one I wanted to highlight. And then, Mitch, we talked in January, some of these SPACs, right, that have not announced deals that may target a crypto company. So I just want to, kind of refresh everyone here. We'll highlight some names. Maybe you can pull up those charts.
Just give me 1 second before you move on, Chris. I wanted to answer Solar up here. We try to pay attention to the chat. I missed your question a couple minutes ago, but I got you, man. I see it. So one of the things that I do, and it's a shortcut I learned for when you're on Benzinga Pro, guys, if you're in this charts and you're looking at it and you want to change between time frame, you don't need to hit exit to get back to this to kind of go to a time frame. What you're going to do is when you're in full screen, right, guys? The horizontal line is Alt H, but this one you don't even need a shortcut. You can just put in your time frame that you want. So let's say I wanted to go to the 1 weekly. I'm going to put a 1W on here, and that'll get my 1 weekly. If I want a 1 month, I'm going to go 1M. And if I want a 15-minute, I'm just going to put 15. If I want a 1 minute, I can put 1 minute. If I want a 2 minute, I can put 2. And as you guys see, whatever you guys want, you guys can get it. Let's say if you wanted a 1 hour chart, you're going to put 1 and then that H, and then that will get you that 1 hour chart. So you're just moving within just by hitting the number and a letter there. So I just wanted to give you guys the shout out there. Definitely, Kat, if I can help you guys in any way to use Benzinga Pro and make it easier for you guys, let me know. I know some tricks and tips, and it's fun, also for the trend line. If you guys don't know it, I always try to say it, but it's Alt T to start that trend line and Alt H to start the horizontal line.
Yeah, and Mitch, also point out at 10:30 we have Trade with Benzinga Pro with Ryan and Jonathan. They also show off some of those great tools, ways to use Benzinga Pro. The watch list, the different trading features, the chart, and some of those shortcuts. So I know just watching them, I've learned some of those tips and tricks there. And there's that
YouTube
promo
20.
code.
YouTube 20, guys.
And guys, remember, you can sign up for Benzinga Pro. You get a free trial. You don't have to put your credit card in. You don't have to, sign up for that first month. You can test it out, right? So sign up for a free trial. Come back to our show, follow some of these trades, and drop any questions you have in the chat. You can ask Mitch, you can ask me, and if we don't know the answer, we can get you in touch with someone from Benzinga Pro and the team, and they can walk you through, how to use the charts and stuff. We have one of the greatest teams out there. They'll talk to you on the phone. They'll talk to you via chat. They'll make sure you know all the tools that Benzinga Pro has. So, I'm excited. I've been using Benzinga Pro since I joined the team, and, I can't imagine ever not having it now. So, a shameless plug there for Benzinga Pro, but guys, it's really worth it. And, you should be using it.
I'll use a better line. It's not the best thing since sliced bread. It's the best thing since thick sliced bread. I don't know about you guys, but that's what I use now. I'm not using that thin stuff anymore.
You mean the stuff that falls apart like in your hand?
No. We're not using that Wonder Bread anymore, guys. We're on that thick stuff, that good quality stuff, guys. And so that's what I'd say. But definitely don't miss out,
Yeah, and comment on Charlie there on the squawk. Yeah, we get so many compliments about Charlie, whatever you want to call him. There's so many compliments on him with the squawk.
Some call him the little angel on my left shoulder, just oh, Charles. Well, thanks, bro. Thanks.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, bro.
He's giving out that news. He's giving out those headlines in real time. It's a great team effort here. But yeah, great with all those comments there. So guys, just to touch again on those SPACs that I think could target crypto companies. So again, they might not, right? We've seen cannabis SPACs target, LiDAR. We've seen fintech companies, end up with electric vehicles. So could go completely different. But GSAH, which I own, the Goldman Sachs SPAC, this is one that was linked to eToro before. Obviously, eToro went with FTCV. But, Goldman Sachs has been betting big on the cryptocurrency market. So I'm thinking still that they end up landing a big crypto player, right? Goldman Sachs, large player, they want a piece of the crypto economy, right? So what better way than to grab one of them, bring them public via SPAC, have some control over it. This thing has faded, right? This thing has fallen along with, many of the SPACs that have not announced deals. So now you have a good opportunity, to get in, at a decent price, a lower risk, possible higher reward. So GSAH, still one of the ones out there that I think ends up getting a crypto company. So keep that one on watch if it's not already. We have BTAQ was another one that was, rumored for eToro. Obviously, eToro they didn't get. I think BTAQ now doesn't go crypto. I think they end up Israeli technology. I said that on the show yesterday. We have several Israeli companies, rumored for SPACs here. So I got to think maybe BTAQ, isn't a crypto trade anymore. And I do own shares of this. I think they end up sticking with technology, more of their wheelhouse. The eToro rumors, had a lot to do with the Israeli ties more than anything. Then we have LFTR. This one, I think Mitch mentioned yesterday, the under 1050. So targeting fintech, their management connections to E-Trade, TD Ameritrade, also the former Coinbase COO. That chart, as Mitch said yesterday, this is a good one, under 1050. It's actually under 10 now. I do own shares of this one. I still got to believe, based on that management team, I really think they end up going crypto here or something very similar and related to crypto. So I know that's one of your favorites there, Mitch, and I've got to agree. And again, I am long shares of LFTR. I think under 10 here is, great entry point. I just want to say, someone was saying in the chat, Coinbase, I'm not seeing it trading yet. I just wanted to make sure.
Nothing yet.
Someone
guys.
said coin is moving, and I was like, wait, what? But I don't see it trading yet.
I'd let you know. I'm watching it.
It looks like we're indicating 360 now.
Yeah, we're moving up. We're moving up, guys.
Moving on up.
I got it ready, guys. You guys see it?
Coinbase
I'll drop it in here. If you see it moving, I'll drop it. But yeah, guys.
And guys, again, Benzinga Pro, right? That's how quick that was, right? And by Benzinga Pro said Coinbase indicating $360. I didn't have to go search for that. That was right there on my news desk. So a couple more possible crypto plays. We have MOTV. This is led by Motive Capital, but the former CEO of blockchain fintech digital asset is attached to this SPAC. So I'm thinking maybe, crypto or blockchain related trade here with MOTV. We also have LEAP. So we have LEAP, Ribbit Capital. So Ribbit Capital was an investor in Coinbase and Robinhood. Fintech focus. I have to say, I think that they end up going crypto. And then FPAC, led by former New York Stock Exchange president Tom Farley. Again, just based on the experience, he's been bullish on crypto for a long time. So I have to think, he helped New York Stock Exchange create a Bitcoin index in 2015. Also, the New York Stock Exchange invested $75 million in Coinbase back in 2015. If they still own that stake in Coinbase, it's going to be worth a lot of money today, and they might want to call up Tom Farley and tell him thank you, because he was the one who got them into that trade. So, and maybe he ends up landing a SPAC deal, for a crypto play here as well. I mentioned at the top, right, we had news out from Fuse, F-U-S-E, that's Money Lion. So I ran through the, report from yesterday, some of the financial highlights. But the other thing that I want to highlight here is that on April 8th, so last week, Money Lion announced that they will introduce new capabilities enabling members to buy, sell, and earn digital currencies. So that includes a strategic investment in Zero Hash, which is the leading regulated digital asset settlement provider. So now they're going to be able to offer cryptocurrency as part of that all-in-one digital financial platform, and also gives them an ownership stake in the leading cryptocurrency liquidity and settlement infrastructure. So, FUSE, I haven't looked at that chart yet today. Yeah, we're under $10. So Money Lion, right? Financial company, but now they're going hard into crypto. So what do you think, Mitch? I mean, that news, not only can you buy and sell crypto with Money Lion, you're going to be able to earn it. So just for paying your bills, just for using, a card, you can now earn Bitcoin or Ethereum. I mean, maybe some customers switch over to Money Lion, because why not?
Yeah, one of the things I think you're going to start seeing more and more of these platforms come out, just because as you see cryptocurrency really get adopted, you'll see more and more platforms. Now, to me, the question is always on these cryptocurrency platforms is kind of the efficiency of them. Do they crash at some times? Because that's how they used to be. Not anymore. You don't see it as often. But to talk about a little bit about Money Lion, I think that, it's a smart move, because at the end of the day, we're moving more and more towards, kind of regulated digital assets. And if anything, we're going to keep moving towards that. There's nothing that really takes us more to, let's say, a fiat money. But what really is looking forward is how can we have maybe, one thing that I think doesn't get talked about with blockchain and cryptocurrency is the dollar, right? The dollar has been life for just about the whole world. I mean, if you want to trade for stuff, certain goods, you need dollars, and so what if, and Chris, you can answer, and give me your ideas, but what if in the long run, like Bitcoin is what becomes the monetary, the world money, where we actually don't, dollar is not the strongest anymore and Bitcoin beats it. Next thing you know, we're trading in Bitcoins versus trading in dollars. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think not only crypto, but also, digital wallets, right? So, look at PayPal, look at Square, look at the growth of just being able to send people money, online. You don't have to go to a bank, withdraw money. You don't have to meet that person, person to person. You can just transfer money. And as Mitch said, same with crypto. What if crypto, becomes more of a way to exchange for products and services, to be able to pay for them rather than using the US dollar? I think we're already seeing that with PayPal and Square both, allowing their users to buy, sell crypto, and then also PayPal, making it to where merchants can accept crypto as payment. So that used to be the hard part, right? Is a lot of your smaller businesses, they're not going to be able to, accept crypto because they don't want to get into it. They don't want to deal with the regulations. They don't want to deal with the transaction fees, all that and stuff. So then you have PayPal, right? So PayPal's making it to where I can buy something from a business. I can, in the future, I can use Bitcoin to make the transaction. The business can accept Bitcoin because PayPal's going to handle all the behind the scenes transactions, right? And they're just going to cut the money in US dollars to that business. So I think that's the middle step now that we're getting to. And then in the future, as Mitch said, just being able to use crypto as a more accepted payment option than the US dollar, I think is spot on. I think the question isn't anymore, if it's when. So
Yeah,
I
and
would agree.
this is what worries us. For people that actually pay attention to, let's say, inflationary, the Fed's, printing of money, and this is what really people talk about. Because how do we keep the dollar strong if we keep pushing ourselves further and further in the deficit? And really, I mean, we don't make money. We need to start making some money. We need to focus on getting industries back. I know that it's been talked about bringing some of these tech companies and having some of the, let's say, the chips being made here. I think that's a great idea. At the end of the day, if we're not going to make anything and we're just going to be consumers and consume and consume and consume, eventually that comes back to bite. Because you have to create GDP. It can't just always be and coming off of, let's say, our investment and our consumer spending. I mean, we're essentially we're drawing ourselves thin by doing this and not creating. And what do you think about that, Chris?
Yeah, no, I think that's accurate too. The U.S. wants to be a leader in everything, right? And I think you're spot on then with chips. I think that goes back to our talk about MP materials earlier today, right? Why not be the leader in rare earth minerals? We don't want to be reliant on China, right? So MP materials, someone actually said in the chat, I forgot who it was, and it was earlier, but talking about, rare earth mining being of national security. Mitch, I know you listened to the ARK Fund webinar yesterday. I listened to it. I have a couple articles up on the site. One of the discussions was on Bitcoin, right? And so Bitcoin was banned in India and Nigeria. And the thing I liked with ARK was they actually talked about how gold was banned in the US, right? So at one point, not in my lifetime, but at one point, you couldn't own physical gold in the US. And it was because of national security, because people could, hoard gold. And because gold was tied to the US dollar, it could actually, hurt the nation's, economic prospects. So Bitcoin, though, isn't tied to the US dollar. And it's a lot harder. How would you ban, Bitcoin? When it's digital transactions, it would be real tough, right? And digital keys, so I don't think the US is ever going to, ban Bitcoin. And obviously there's, discussions out there. You've got people saying it's going to happen. I just don't see it happening. And, ARK again, saying that maybe Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, she may not be as, pro Bitcoin as we'd like to see, but the new incoming SEC chairman, he's very pro crypto. He actually taught a class at I think MIT about Bitcoin. This guy knows it, right? So he's going to lead the SEC and he knows Bitcoin. So I think we actually see, more growth ahead for Bitcoin because it's starting to get love, not just by these corporations, right? MicroStrategy, Tesla, Square buying Bitcoin. I think you're going to see your banks, your financial institutions really push hard. They want a piece of it, right?
Yeah, and they do.
Mitch,
held out.
Yeah, and as I said, right, we're no longer going to banks, to withdraw money. We're transferring money, person to person. So same thing. These banks, they may not need as many physical locations. They want growth. How are they going to get growth? I think they have to attack crypto and they have to get a piece of that pie. And that's why I think Coinbase IPO today, it's just the starting point, right? We're going to see more and more small and large crypto and digital asset and blockchain companies go public or be acquired, right? We could see an acquisition spree now from some of these larger companies. You could see PayPal, Square, some of your larger banks. I think, within the next couple of weeks, we see some deals being announced because this Coinbase IPO, it's going to increase valuations to where you might wait, too long to get some of these deals done. And you want these companies under your umbrella now.
Yeah, one thing being mentioned, and I just wanted to give a shout out there, Hack's mom talking about how we do have an advantage, and one of the things is history, as history goes, right? History repeats, right? And so one of the things we need to do is always learn from our prior and our past, right? And if we look at our past, we've gone through moments of high inflation. We've gone through moments of spending so much fiscal and putting back and putting back and putting back. And we've seen the effects come from that. Now, the real question is, how is our money today going to be versus our money in, let's say, 5 years? And that's what we need to ask ourselves. And I think as a generation, one of the things that we need to do, guys, is definitely come more together on one consensus, because it's not always just about the left and it's not always just about the right, not to mention names, but I see comments in the chat about both sides. And really what we need to do is we need to come to an understanding of what we're really willing to give up here. I don't want to give up America being the leader. And I know that there's a lot of people out there that are not willing to give that up. So definitely we got to keep fighting on that fight, but we also need to come more together to come together and build as a country again, and really start getting some money and some GDP back to America. I think you're going to see the fight for like we're seeing here, talked about, for the rare earth minerals. This is going to be a battle for the next 50 years, guys. Why? Because at the end of the day, until we can go and grab our minerals from space, which shout out to Elon, get me up there. I'll go digging for gold myself. I don't mind, but hey, that's what I think is going to happen. You're going to see this fight for these kind of essentially assets that are running out. There's not an infinite supply, guys. And so with that being said, the battle is on. And who's going to win this battle? So about Bitcoin being banned, not going to happen. You know why? Because the only way they can do this, guys, is attack the platforms. They can't attack the actual monetary. And that's really where you're seeing it, is that, let's say, if they wanted to figure out who has what Bitcoin, like actually what Bitcoin, they would have to go into so many legal battles, and these companies wouldn't be required to go ahead and reveal this information. So it's going to be a battle regardless if they're trying to regulate, ban it, whichever way they want. Finally, there's a money that is not controlled by one country. And because of this, the change in mindset comes with it.
Absolutely. So, guys, again, Bitcoin, great growth prospects going forward. I think, your portfolio, again, look at your own risk reward, but I think you need some type of play on cryptocurrency, whether that's holding physical crypto like Bitcoin, like Ethereum, or getting some of these companies that mine it, or they control the platforms. That's one of the ways I'm trying to play this, is get some of those exchanges, some of those platforms, and maybe look at some of the miners, right? Because I think you need the exposure. So, enough about Bitcoin. Enough about Coinbase. We got like 7 minutes left. How about some ticker time, Mitch? What do you think?
Yeah, let's do some ticker time, guys. Let's go ahead up and nail up some ticker time. If you got a ticker you want us to take a look at, go ahead up and put it in the chat. Bum, 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 bum. Relaxing and enjoying the day, guys. I'm enjoying the day with you guys. So definitely, if you guys can do me a favor, smash that like button. Let's get up to 200. We have over 500 people watching. So definitely do us a favor if you like us going through this, and definitely communicating with the chat. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Let's keep it rolling here. I'm seeing a lot of names start flowing through. One that I did want to talk about before we start, I'm going to nail it. What we're going to do is we're going to play a game here. Chris and I are just going to say bull or bear. Don't take this too crazy, guys. Doesn't mean to go ahead and load the boat up, but we just want to go through a lot of names really quickly. So the first one up, I'm going to give the name, and then I'll let Chris give his opinion, and then we'll keep rolling through here. All right. So like always, guys, let's do a little rapid fire here. So first one up, Ride.
Yeah, I'm a bull.
Bull. I want to see this weekend. They have a little competition that they're being a part of. Take a look, guys. We'll see what happens with that. Let's keep going. Next one up, We got CLII.
Yeah, charging. I'm a bull.
I'm a bull. Just wait for those closer to $10 pricing. That's for me. All right, let's keep going through. Next one up, of course, PSTH. I don't think we need to do too much of this one, but I don't need to do the chart at least.
After looking at that chart yesterday, I'm a bull here at 24. I was a bear a long time ago on the valuation, but I am now a bull on PSTH.
I'm a bear, guys. I'm going to let this crack the 20 mark, and then I'll get it at a discount. Let's keep going. GNFT. Not sure I know too much about this one, but
I don't think GNFT is a SPAC.
Look at Sandra trying to sneak one through there. Sandra, we see you, Sandra.
I know this. I think this is biotech. I feel like I've heard of this before. Biotech company.
Look at that candle, though.
Yeah, so
that's a hard candle to take.
I don't know this one, but looking at that chart, I don't know.
This had a reverse split, a split. Like this had to have had a split.
It had to have. That's way too big.
That's way too big.
So GNFT, Sandra, go ahead and tune into Biotech Buzz.
There you go. You can ask Biotech
and ask her because I just don't know enough about that.
Let's keep rolling. PIPP.
I'm a bull. Strong management.
I don't even need to pull it up. I already know. Bull. Let's keep going. Next one up. We got. Looks like there's some more rolling through there. CLVR.
Yeah, bull, cannabis. Bull.
Well, you guys know where I live. That's all I gotta say. Let's keep rolling through here. Next up here, we got CMLF by the choo.
Yeah, CMLF is biotech. This one I thought ran more. Yeah, it's come back down. I would have to do some digging. I would definitely like it more now than when it was at 27. So I'm in the middle here. I just don't know enough.
I'm a bear. Let it come down towards 11. Then I'll turn around, in my opinion. All right, keep going here. IPOF.
I'm a bull. I own shares of IPOF. But Chamath needs to land a good deal. He has fallen out of favor with investors here. So whichever gets announced first, IPOD or IPOF, could send the other one either up or down because he needs a good deal.
Well, I'll have to let you guys know when I get in this one. I haven't gotten in this one. I wanted to get in this one before when it was in the 10s. Then it went to the 11s. And you know my rule, guys. I stay away from those 11s. I only like to get the 10s. So I'll let you know if I see the crack of 1050s, I definitely will start getting interested in IPOF.
Yeah, this is the lowest you can get this one pretty much since it started trading. So
that's my idea.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's keep rolling through here. Next one up, of course, CCIV. We can't go without touching about the lucid dreamers here. What's going on with this?
CCIV, I'm still a bull. I still own shares, but I just don't see a lot of activity until they start releasing those cars. So you got to be a patient bull here, I think. All
right, let's go. Let's keep it going, Chris. 2 minutes left. Let's see how many we can get in those 2 minutes. CCIV, bear. I'm waiting for the 20 crack, guys. All right, let's keep rolling through here. Next up, I'm seeing ACIC here. ACIC, what do you think?
ACIC, Archer, I don't know.
The pressure's on. On. Real quick, bull or bear?
I'm a bull.
Bull? I'm a bear. We'll see who wins. Lunch bet is on. All right, let's keep going here. Next up, we got DMYI.
I'm a long-term bull, but you got to be very long-term out with quantum here.
I say you get it. Let me click my man SPAC broker. I say you look for it at that under the $10 price point, and when it switches over, I would love to get it underneath that price point. They're doing some competitions. At the end of the day, guys, this is probably one of the most advanced technologies I think I'm seeing out there. So with that being said, I think Katje would tell me myself, if you think it's going to be that kind of technology, should you be doing here? Ask yourself that question. All right, keep going here, guys. I'm going to keep going. Next up, SPCE.
SPCE, I'm a bull. I own shares, but they need to get those flights going. I know Mitch is a bear here. Don't even have to ask him. But yeah, they need some positive news out.
Oh man, when you're a bear, you know. And in this company, I've been a bear for a long term, guys. I'm gonna continue just being that bear in the back. All right, let's keep going. Skills being mentioned here. Dan Jones, we got 1 minute left. 1 minute left.
I don't even know where we're at on the chart, but I'm a bull based on the company. So no idea the price, but I'm a bull.
It's at 16. I say you let it get to 10. I say too many people think this one's too good. That's my opinion. All right, let's keep rolling through here. Being mentioned, a couple more. Oh, there you go. We got a couple more. All right, so this, I'm not even going to put up the chart. I'm just going to literally put up the ticker, and you say bull or bear. RSI.
Bull.
All right, next up, FSR.
I'm a bull, and I am long.
NGA.
I'm a bull. I'm long.
And let's go one more. Oh, let's do these two. GIK.
I don't know. I'm turning bear here. They're just
turning bearish. There's just too much. And
yeah, electrification out of favor. Look at XL. Look at Helion. GIK, I think, falls after this deal goes through.
APXT.
I think long-term bull, but I think it could fall more.
All right. Well, hey, you guys saw us there trying to fly through as many names as we can. If you guys can do us a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and actually what helps us out the most, guys, is if you hit that share button underneath, let everyone know how many SPACs we touch. A lot of the times we go in depth so that you can learn a lot more about these companies. I saw a question earlier about fundamentals and SPACs and where we'd kind of pay attention to the most. First things first is investors' presentation, guys. Until you get an update, that's why you're going to be your best place to look. And then what you want to do is you really want to start looking at their actual financials. Don't just look at kind of what is posted for you to see. Look at the financials, see the margins, see how the margins should increase or decrease. Also, like we mentioned, see what's reoccurring revenue, see what's new revenue, what's pre-revenue. This matters because that's one of the biggest things that you need to pay attention to. Anything you want to add to that, Chris?
Yeah, guys, I just put in the chat. Good luck to anyone playing coin or related plays today. Just be careful out there. Know your risk reward. Don't get caught chasing any of these names too high up. It's okay to sit out some trades. It's okay to scale in, right? Coin is a direct listing, so it's a little bit different because that price is going to be more direct and more set. But look at, Roblox, DoorDash, Airbnb. A lot of these ones fell their first day or two, and you had plenty of buying opportunities if you believed in the long-term story. So if you're a trader, do your own strategy. If you're an investor, look for buying opportunities on the dips and be careful.
Like always, guys, we all love Chris's hair. Definitely shout out to Chris's hair.
If Gary B says he loves my hair, I guess I got to be okay with it. I've had gray hair up here since I was like 19. So this is natural. Gary B's a fan. So I'm bullish now. I was a bear, Mitch. I'm now a bull on Chris's hair.
Hey, making that salt and pepper looking beautiful, baby. But like always, guys, hit the like. We'll be back. Up next, you guys got the Power Hour. Definitely do not miss that, guys. It's going to be definitely fun. Let me pull up exactly who's going to be on today. I know I saw a couple guests.
Yeah, and I know they'll be talking Coinbase, and they'll break in when that starts trading. So, you don't want to miss it. They have a guest coming on, I think, to talk about Coinbase. They also have a guest coming on to talk about gold, I think, Mitch. So,
all right, so you're going to have Matt Hammonds from IPO, and then you also got Ed Kerr, a gold stock talking about. So just stick with them, guys. And one of the things is Power Hour goes on for 2 hours, definitely gives you all the value that you need. So definitely check that out, guys. We're going to go ahead up and wrap up and send it there. We'll see you next time, guys. Definitely smash the like button. And like always, guys, let's keep going up.